We at the Saturday edition for Bold Prediction Sports Media Podcast. I'm that dude with the beard. He's Mr. KC from the 813. And we're coming to you once again on a Saturday here. We appreciate you being here with us here. We're going to talk a little NBA and talk a little AEW wrestling today. They got a special event going on, a little pay-per-view company that's rivaling WWE here. And Mr. KC, how you been doing, my man? What's going on?
Oh, I'm doing good, living life, hanging in there, enjoying this Saturday. Getting a little excited to talk this little NBA and AEW action.
Yes, sir. And we can go ahead and dive right on in, man. What is going on in the NBA where the Boston Celtics are seemingly the best team in basketball right now? Last week we was talking about how they were kind of in the mix, and it seemed like with this basketball thing, the tides turn almost every week. Like every week they got somebody else number one. It's not really a definitive clear front runner yet. I mean, you can call some of these team front runners, but dude, we're seeing a lot of switching. What you think about that? These Boston Celtics so far?
Well, if people were paying attention, I was trying to talk you into getting a Celtics jersey one of these days.
Yeah,
Maybe I need to get me a nice little Paul Pierce deal for the background or something.
not Paul
Get
Pierce.
excited about this Kevin Garnett
Okay,
spirited type team. You know what I mean? He may not be there no more, but his spirit lives on. And we're seeing that early on in the NBA. It's early on in the season, so we're going to see all kind of funky things. But
right.
it's excited to see a team in the East, take a little control of things this week.
No, for sure. I mean, like I said, between them and the Bucks, they're pretty much the perennial front runners in the East so far. But they don't have too many people trailing behind them. Like I said, Cleveland's still in the mix, Atlanta's in the mix here, and not even looking at the West, dude. That's so disappointing here. I scrolled over my West notes, folks, and I was just like, "Oh my god!" I almost threw up in my mouth a little bit. But let's go ahead and talk about it a little bit. The
Yeah, I
Lakers are
mean,
4-10, man. I know it's over, but dude, it's just hard to see them bottom out. So I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about them. It's crazy.
yeah, the only thing really to talk about with the Lakers is who are they going to trade away? Are they just gonna give this up already? I mean, I think I would seriously consider it. You have
Right.
to look at LeBron, AD, and Westbrook and see if you can't just reload in some different kind of fashion.
No, for sure. I don't know what they're gonna do, what they have up their sleeve, but they'll have to figure something out here. Because like I said, it's not looking good for them. Oh, I got too many lights going on here. There we go. I was like, why am I getting blinded by another light here? um, Also in the West, though, a real team that's underachieving here that I thought would be a lot better at this stretch is the Warriors. Granted, they're only 2 games under 500, but still, though, you wouldn't expect to see the defending champions already with 9 losses on the season.
Right. Yeah, and they're slowly kind of being competitive though. In some games they're really fighting and to be in it. So I think it's still one of those early on season kind of deals where we got to wait and see with the, it's a long season. They can come on in the second half and get it somewhere in the West. And as weak as the West has been, they can still slide in the playoffs, I think.
Right. No, I agree with you here. It could happen here because, like I said, the rest of the West isn't really shaking up to where there's a clear-cut dominant team. I mean, your best team is the Jazz right now, sitting at 11-6, and then, like you still got Portland in the mix, and we got the Grizzlies in the mix still. Excuse me, folks. John Morant's still out there balling. Dame Dollar still putting on. Surprised to see Mike Conley and the Jazz doing what they're doing, but I mean, there's a lot of ballers around there, so I'm not too surprised. But you'll never
Yeah,
be expecting to see Utah in the upper echelon of NBA rankings so far. So
I thought they were going to be pretty decent this year, but I'm not going to lie, I didn't have them as number one. That's a pretty wild spot to think about for the Jazz. But hey, You know, they got that mailman spirit. They're trying to deliver. You know,
Yeah,
and
deliver the first chip.
I'm riding with them.
They
Yeah.
need to, because goodness gracious. We're gonna see though. Like I said, there's still some teams out there who are kind of asleep that can still probably make a run if everything clicks together. The Pelicans has been a team that I've been watching a long time, really just waiting for anything to click for them. They had such a good young nucleus that you think could grow together with Slender Man Brandon Ingram down there in Zion. I was just thinking, like, goodness gracious, like one day these two are gonna be formidable, but we just haven't seen it yet.
A
On
lot of hype.
2K, on 2K,
Yeah.
they're great.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but
A lot of hype because on 2K you can get them to play every night too,
that's
and that
true.
makes a big difference. You know, and I thought they would be good just because it's a lot of young talent on that team, and that's the kind of
Hmm.
thing you want to see in the NBA, especially this day and age. But it just hasn't really clicked just yet. Maybe it will, but I definitely have questions if it ever really kind of will.
Right.
A lot of
No,
hype.
I understand. Yeah, no, for sure. I'm 100% with you on that. It's pretty much all hype at this point. That's why I was asking you what I asked you about the product itself so far versus how we used to see it and then what it's going into now. So I mean, yeah, we're actively seeing the changes going on. Not too many, not too much to really say about the NBA at this point. I mean, it gets exciting around February, so we'll see what happens. But as right now, I mean, we're just kind of seeing, I guess, how it's gonna shake out. Man, not too much. Had them 4 or 5 seed Pelicans this year. Yeah,
Oh
man,
yeah.
I know, but we're gonna see, man. I would hope so. Like I said, they got the team to do it, but looking at everybody else in the way, well, I can't really see too many teams that could stop them. Like I said, outside the top five right now, Dallas, the Grizzlies, the Suns. I mean, outside of one of these teams, it should be almost a cakewalk. And once the Warriors turn it around, then we'll see. But yeah, did you have anything you want to touch on about your precious 76ers?
Oh, it's just such a rough season to be a fan of any basketball team. I think they're doing okay-ish. You know, they could be better, but it's just never up to my expectations of what I thought they would be at. You know, going into this year. But I'm just hoping it's a long season, and they can pick up some extra games somewhere along down the line. But uh, I might have to jump ship and join the Boston Celtics bandwagon before too long. Uh, Another one of my favorite kind of teams that I kind of chase around once they get good. You know, so
Oh,
we'll
okay.
have to see.
He said I'll have to dust it off and bring them back. We'll
Yeah,
see. Oh man.
could be a convenient time, to switch
It
up.
could be. Hey, look, it's not looking good in a certain area down in the southeast, but if you can go ahead and head on up north where it's a little bit brighter, you might be okay. Man,
Yeah, what
that's
about those Knicks? We could give a shout out for our fans, Teacher Talking Sports. He has another great YouTube channel that everybody should check out. He's a big Knicks fan, so it's always fun to kind of keep an eye on them a little bit.
I think they're 5-5 right now, if I'm not
Yeah, it'd
mistaken.
be
They
getting,
should
I
be
think,
500.
slightly better. Are they
I mean,
500? Yeah, I think so.
it's the Knicks though. I mean,
Yeah. The-
it's just they have so many overhauls, and it seems like the front office is never the right folk in there. Seem like they don't know how to get the best out of the people that they're getting in there, and it's kind of a waste of talent getting people in there when you're wasting them with guys who don't even know how to run a program. So I don't know.
yeah. It just
We'll
reminds me a
see.
lot of the Bulls where you had like those dynasty type teams and then like you no longer see that out of that franchise anymore. And it just never makes sense to me.
Right. Oh yeah, I see the Knicks sitting. Yeah, they are 500, 8-8. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, they could be a team that could sneak in. I mean, they're scrappy. They're always a chippy team. I mean, you could lose to them any night, but most nights when you see the Knicks pop up, the RJ Barrett, man, dude, I had big
He's a
expectations for
baller
RJ
though.
Barrett, man.
He turns it around. You know what I mean? Like that definitely helps maybe get that team over the hump. You know what I mean?
It could. We'd have to see, man. Because like I said, I had big expectations for that dude. I thought he was gonna be a baller. Like, well, early on, I mean, he's not bad, don't get me wrong, but coming from the college he did, uh, these pristine programs, dude, like I said, you would just expect. I mean, the dude, he went to Duke, didn't he, RJ Barrett? Yeah, he went to Duke.
Yeah,
So you would just, I mean, 18 points a game. I see him now. Not too bad though. I mean, but they need a guy who's gonna be their uh what's the word? I mean, superstar for sure, but I mean, they need a guy who can be their Damian Lillard or, whoever it is to be that guy of the team. Well, they need somebody to really step up. I mean, Julius Randle was supposed to be one of the older guys there. I mean, you played with Kobe. You would think you'd have the
right.
mentality. Uh, I don't know. We'll see how that shakes out, man. Um, they're not a bad team to watch, though. Something to keep the eye on for sure. I have kind of felt the same way about the Thunder, but
Yeah, you. Hey,
they
they've
just
shown up a couple of times this week.
yeah,
They've had some games. So the Thunder's, uh, it's not the team that it once was, but it could be a scrappy team too. You never know when they could pop up. Any given night
right. No, for sure. I
as
agree
the
with you
Thunder
on
rolls.
that. They're right. That's how the Thunder rolls. Goodness. Oh yeah. I think that's about everything I had on that here as far as NBA coverage. Like I said, nothing too major is going on right now.
Yeah,
um, in the NBA. So, like I said, once the season picks up more, we'll have more information, more things to even talk about in
yeah.
regards to that.
I think basketball really gets interesting right up around that Christmas time. After that New Year's kind of
Mhm.
era,
Right,
yeah, that's when you start getting excited because you can really start seeing what do you got to do to make the playoffs, and then you get into playoff NBA playoffs, and that's when
right,
basketball really starts for
right,
me.
right.
That's
That's
when
what I'm
I get
saying.
super excited.
Yeah, because you should be jailed by then. This thing should be a well-oiled machine, whether you're the seventh ranked best machine or the eighth, but you still
Right.
should be ready to go. So I agree on that. I think, yeah, and they're 7-9. I'm gonna need these Thunder to do something, but they probably got time to turn it around, man. We gonna see. Like I said, they've had a couple of big games, a couple of big shots, argumentative travels, hitting on said big shots with certain
Mm,
situations. So I mean, there's been a little bit of going on here. Gilchrist Alexander, he's a baller here. They pretty much got a chance, really.
yeah,
Honestly,
I mean it's a
they could
well-rounded
be a
team.
s-
I think.
they could
You
be
know.
a sneaker team too, honestly, because they're not bad. They're a top 10 rebounding team, and that's half the battle. Because if you can keep getting the boards, you keep getting times to score. So,
Right. You.
oh,
It's all a matter of how many touches you can get and whatnot. So.
right. Give me 1 second, folk. Here, it sounds like I got an uninvited visitor here. I hate to put you on hold, but give me 1 second.
It's all right. I got you here. Yeah, so that's kind of the NBA action for this week. It was pretty exciting to see what's going on in the league. You always feel bad for like the Lakers fans, and it's kind of sad to see what we're seeing with the Warriors too. But that's where it's at. This week we're also going to bring you some AEW wrestling action. Now I'm not a huge wrestling guy, so that dude with a beard is going to be bringing us into this wrestling kind of conversation, and it'll be interesting and to see how that goes. I used to be a WWF guy, and then they went to the WWE. It kind of went downhill for my viewership since then. So a lot of my favorite wrestlers are the old style, well, not really old, but that mid '90s, 2000s kind of era. The Rock and Chris Jericho, Rey Mysterio, all the fun little wrestling guys. Um, there's a lot of sports going on in the league, around the league. The NBA is kind of what we were talking about tonight, but if you look at the MLB, we had a lot of exciting news with like the Cy Young coming out. Oh yeah, Owen Hart. Yeah, rest in peace. That was a big hit as a Kansas City, and that's where he passed away. And I luckily didn't go to that event that night, but I'd gone to a few events in Kansas City, and it's always fun to see wrestling live, and it's almost unbelievable that you can have such a tragic event on a night. Owen Hart's a great guy. Yeah, and he's one of those legends that are really kind of like that Hulk Hogan era. You know, the Ric Flair, you get that real loud, sensational, just dudes you just really can get behind or either really hate. But it seemed like everyone liked Owen Hart, and he was definitely gone too soon. It was definitely sad to see. But that's one of the things that happens in sports sometimes. You know, I've seen that as a Royals fan with Ventura. I really felt like that really changed the Royals team around that era when Ventura left uh, us too soon. It was an unfortunate accident for a young gentleman. It was just a rising star. You know, he was a top notch pitcher and whatnot. So it's interesting to see where you go from there, type of a deal. You know, but the world keeps moving, unfortunately, and well, we have to be thankful for the Owen Harts and the Venturas and stuff. We got to still look forward to the new guys. You know, so I'm excited to hear a little AEW action. It's going to be a pay per view event going on tonight. I think I might catch it just so me and my son can kind of have an old wrestling kind of event kind of action, give us something to talk about. I've tried to get him to do it before, and he wasn't really a big fan of it. So it's just one of those things you got to kind of force your kid into, and hopefully he picks it up or doesn't. You know, I'm excited for
All
some.
right.
Oh, welcome back to Do with a Beard.
No, thank you guys for waiting on me, man. Had to handle some life situations. You know how those come up abruptly.
Right? Yeah.
Owen Hart
So
was my favorite. R.I.P. man, and he died here in the town. That hurts every time I think about him. That's what I think about down at the old Kemper.
yeah,
Man.
yeah, it was a tough deal. I was kind of saying we were gonna talk a little AEW action tonight. Give
Oh
folks a
yeah.
little rundown on some wrestling.
Oh yeah, folks. If you have not heard AEW, I wouldn't even say they're a startup promotion at this point. They're full fledged. They're the rival to WWE. Well, I would say the rival because there are other sports wrestling promotions on the planet, but this one is the only one that has another billionaire behind it. Tony Khan, same guy. His father owns the Jacksonville Jaguars, and he's put together a really solid wrestling program for people who were, I would say, attitude era wrestling fans, like most of us in our time frame, our time bracket. Even stretching back, I would even say, to far as Andre the Giant, you really get a mix of what wrestling is with these guys. I mean, hard hitting, um, great story, no BSing around. This program they got going on tonight, AEW Full Gear, man, it's gonna be stacked, dude. They have some of the best, highest 5-star rated wrestlers on the planet in a few of these matches. Um, Headlined by a guy, John Moxley. If you're not familiar with him, he used to wrestle under Vince's, well, not his promotion anymore. He used to wrestle under Triple H's promotion as Dean Ambrose, a part of their faction they had called the Shield. So he's a primetime player in wrestling, highly touted
Right?
in some areas as the best wrestler on the planet, and he's going up against a guy who's reminding me of like a young Triple H, man. He's an
Okay.
assassin. He
I see your
he's
style.
he's a scheming, yeah, you know what I mean? Like he gets it in, he gets it done. I mean, but he wins. If he talks a lot, but he wins a lot. So continue the conversation. They call him MJF. But you
Hmm.
can catch AEW tonight. Like I said, they got a flurry of matches going on. Tag team titles on the line. They have trios tag championships on the line. Um, TBS Championship Online, another network that promotes their program. And the TBS champion is a woman mentioned by the name of her name is Jade Cargill on the stage. She was actually brought into AEW by Shaq. Shaq,
Oh,
yeah, they
right.
had Shaq in the wrestling match. He brought her in. They had a nice little feud with Cody Rhodes, and his wife was a guy who just actually recently went back to WWE. He started there. He's the son of the Dusty Rhodes. For
Oh,
folks
okay.
you don't
Yeah,
know,
I
yeah.
remember Dusty Rhodes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
American Dream, baby. Yeah. He's his son, and he's the one who actually started AEW with his partners Kenny Omega and Matt and Nick Jackson. They call themselves the Young Bucks, which are pretty much for people watching, they're the Hardy Boys 5.0. Like
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. I was a
like
Hardy Boys fan,
oh
like,
yeah,
that they got that high flying action. It's always exciting to see.
oh yeah, dude. I mean, anything you could think of, these folks done in a wrestling match. I mean, I've seen things I've never seen in wrestling happen. I've seen people do moves like you said in the air that I didn't even think was possible. I seen a guy start off doing a front flip, but end up completely changing his body direction, doing almost like a corkscrew into a
Yeah.
crowd of people. I mean, the things these athletes can do are amazing. I can see why wrestling is one of the highest rated entertainment combat sporting things you can view because I
Yeah,
mean it
because
really is action packed.
it's not the same as the UFC or nothing,
Right.
but it still has that physicality. It still takes a lot. These are guys are still athletes. We're still going to
Man,
give them our little shine here, a
man,
little
no, because
shout out, because it's
they
hard to do
always do
that.
the no, it is. Like I say, they always do the old sentiment wrestling is fake. And I'm like, well, everything you watch that is pretty much scripted, even down to most of these football games. I mean, there's a script, a script that people have to follow, not necessarily determining outcomes, but there are certain things
Right.
you have to do, like
Oh yeah. Well,
obviously.
Andy Reid's famous
Yeah.
for scripting his first 15 plays.
I'm
He
sure
knows
you
what
see
he's
what I'm
doing before.
because you know it's good. Because if Tony Romo's telling you what he's about to do, it's because he's reading it off the script. He just didn't know how to mix it in with the stats yet. He was
Yeah.
letting the
He-
secret slip. But but it's just like
Nah,
what you
that's
were
him keeping
saying.
an eye. He's a quarterback. He's watching enough film in his life to, from that bird's eye view, what's about to
Right,
happen. You see
right,
Pat Mahomes, roll right, throw left, 40 yards.
right.
I
No,
knew
for
that was
sure.
coming.
I mean, yeah. I mean, most of these plays are, yeah, they're gimmies. Like, yeah, we knew that was
Yeah,
gonna happen, but when he's like, yeah, I'm surprised he's gonna check it down right here. You're gonna see the close. Like, it sounds like he knows, almost knew it word for word what was gonna happen once it happened. But
right.
saying all that to say this, alluding to your point earlier, like I said, these men are still slamming themselves onto what most people think is a soft ring mat. It's not. Like I've been in a wrestling ring a couple of different times when I thought that I could do it. I'm telling you, that mat on that ground under that, it's nothing but plywood, and I mean the thinnest sheet of I wouldn't even call it styrofoam. It's some kind of plexifoam. I don't even know what you could
Some
call it.
padding, yeah.
So it could give it a little bounce, reverberation. But I'm telling you, dude, the things these guys are doing, yeah, they're scripted because they know what they got to do. Because if you're not, you end up breaking this man's neck.
Right.
In here on a power bomb, and that'd be the last thing you want as a company. Because then you got to pay him, got to pay everybody, taking care of families the rest of their life. So
Right.
yeah, so I have major respect for these guys, dude. It reminds me of remember back in the day they had a show Battle Dome that had Terry
Hmm.
Crews on it. A couple of people on there, I can't remember the boy's name, but he ended up going being in Mortal Kombat. And I'm just like, all of these combating shows, bro, they're great entertainment. That's what I'm saying. That's why the resurgence that I'm seeing in wrestling is almost exciting because there's almost people to talk to about it again. Because for a while, wrestling just disappeared. Like even I left the product alone for about 8 years. And like
Right.
I said, then I heard about this was coming. I was okay. Well, let me check it out. Give it the benefit of the doubt, and I'm glad I did because I've been thoroughly satisfied. Chris Jericho's down there going crazy. Like
Hey.
it has a lot of familiar faces, but obviously we in a different time, so don't be expecting the same gimmicks. But I would say if you plan on tuning in tonight, expect a lot of action. Dude. It's gonna go crazy.
Yeah, I was telling the folks that are checking this out. Then me and my son will probably watch this. And for the folks that didn't watch us live, this was us getting hyped for the matches tonight. And we're glad you guys tuned in and checked us out for this. This is pretty
Oh yeah.
exciting to talk a little wrestling. It's been a
Oh
long
yeah.
time.
It has been a long time. Like I said, it almost gives you that nostalgia. That kid feel like when you used to stay up late, knowing you had to go to school Tuesday morning, you stay up late trying to watch WCW Nitro or trying to watch Raw just so you can talk to your buddies tomorrow about what happened. Like,
Right.
it gives you that kind of feeling. Like it is simply wonderful. Like the program is just simply wonderful. It's the best way I could put it. I'd give it, because nothing's perfect, I'd give it a solid 4 out of 5 stars.
I feel you there. That sounds good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, but yeah, outside of wrestling here, I think it's almost time to do our weekly King of the Hill moment.
Yeah. King of the Hill.
And if I can remember, well, you know what? Maybe it's time to give these quarterbacks a break. Because he got John L up there. I told you I was. I told you I wasn't gonna put his whole name in my phone, people.
Right.
And yeah, I think it. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's. I'm gonna give you some baseball, King of the Hill here.
Oh, here we go.
I want to.
Baseball,
Yeah,
folks.
I want to see something here real quick. We're gonna do even steroids era. Got to include everything on
Oh,
this
I,
because
I'm
because
a
it's
I'm a
part of the
fan of
game.
include. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can't get rid of a whole era.
So we're gonna go with hitters here. I'm gonna start you off here. Jose Canseco. Is he
Okay.
a better hitter? And like I said, I'm going through the whole spectrum here. Is he a better hitter than, you know what? Let's throw old great out there. Mark McGuire?
Oh, Mark McGuire. I'm definitely taking Mark McGuire. Look, Jose
Definitely.
Canseco is a
Ooh.
name. Like, don't get it twisted, but McGuire, even pre-steroids, he was a decent baseball player. You
Yeah.
gave him a little juice. Look, that might have been one of the most exciting times for baseball. We
Oh
can
yeah.
all hate on the steroid era all we want, but you go back to that Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa home run chase. Oh man, I
Hmm.
don't think people have been more in love with baseball since that moment, and
No.
probably for a long time before that even. Like, give me Mark McGuire. He's a legend in my books.
Okay, Jose, we're gonna have to take you off the list here. Mark McGuire. Next man I got for you here. Might make you think on it, might not. It might be a quick one for you. Babe Ruth.
Oh, whoa, the old Bambino.
Yeah, because we had
Ooh,
a old timey thousands legend. Now we'll pull out a legend and see what you think about that.
uh, I think um, I think at the peak you have to go Mark McGuire, but I think for career I'm going to go Babe Ruth. He had a more
Mm,
all around impactful and legendary kind of career. I would definitely take Babe Ruth over Mark McGuire, um, but he's underrated. You know,
he
like,
is,
but
especially as a
it's
pitcher, dude. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different. He was just an all around baseball player, and with career numbers that lasted for a long time for a reason.
right.
So for that reason, I'd kind of lean Baby Ruth.
Okay, okay. The last person I'm gonna throw at you here to complete the cycle here. We're gonna see if Babe stands tall. I'm gonna have to throw out the boy. You think I've been gonna throw him out? I almost see it in your eye. You think? You think? You think? You think? Hank Aaron.
Whoa, Babe Ruth or Hank Aaron? Talk about a tough question. Both of them are fantastic superstars. Look, the,
Revolutionaries in
yeah,
baseball.
creme de la creme. Yeah, and it's interesting. People should definitely check out Teacher Talking Sports. He's actually been doing a position by position Mount Rushmore every day. So it's been
Mm,
a fun series to kind of follow that along. So I've kind of had to think about Babe Ruth and Hank Aaron lately, and I think I'd go Hank Aaron. I think he's a more all around. He's a 5 tool guy, probably more healthy, better athlete, probably.
for sure.
But definitely, it'd have been interesting to see Babe Ruth towards that same kind of era, same kind of time frame, to see how he
Oh
stacked
yeah.
up.
Oh yeah, I wish you could mix a lot of them guys up because I'd throw Ken Griffey back there in the day. I'd if I could send two people back into that time, I'd send Babe. I'm not Babe Ruth. I'd send Barry Bonds and Ken Griffey Jr. and just see if they could tear the MLB up. I really think that's kind of like game changing talent, especially in that generation, dude. Oh my God, they've never seen nothing like
Right.
it. All right, so we're gonna round that one out this week. I'm gonna have some hitters for you next week. I like this one. Because
Yeah,
I got a
baseball's
deep
fun for me.
well. Yeah, there's a deep well I can dive to in this one. Because
Yeah, you
I
should
think
do like pictures too. There's a lot of,
next
you
stop is
can.
shortstop, baby.
Oh yeah, I
We're going
already
right to
know.
my favorite.
Yeah, I've got a couple favorites too. So we'll see.
Honestly, bro, my favorite of all time, maybe because this is when I was home and wrote Carlos Beltran. That was my boy, man.
Oh yeah, Beltran's
Carlos Beltran, dude.
he was
Yeah.
I think he was an outfielder though. I think he played outfield.
You sure he was? Thought he was a shortstop.
Yeah,
Well,
I think
maybe I'm too
Carlos
young to
outfield.
remember. Well, maybe he was the
Yeah,
coldest outfielder of my time then. Well, on our team, that's all I can think of.
yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, it was fun to watch him. And then he got too big for Kansas City, as most baseball players that are good do, and had a great career there with the Yankees and whatnot. So
Oh
it
yeah, for
was,
sure.
and I think a
No,
few other, maybe a couple other teams too.
no, for sure. 'Cause I know he was a Cardinal at one point in time, and
Yeah, I think so.
I want to say a Ranger, maybe some team in Texas. He was. I know he was on some Texas. I just can't remember which
Yeah.
one it is right now. I'm gonna have to look it up 'cause it's gonna kill me. Give me
All
one
right, so
second for.
let's get your little King of the Hill action, and I've got a surprise for you and the folks. Tonight we are going to talk a little classic WWFE,
Ooh.
whatever you want to call it. I call it the F.
It's the F, man. We know where
Yeah,
it's at.
we can talk a little WWFers. In the title, it might be WWE, just so we don't
Oh
get
yeah, just save all
yeah,
worldwide. Like
so we
we
can
we
save the
know who you
panties.
are. If you could take down Vince McMahon, I know you could take us down. We yield before we get started. We'll put WWE.
All
Oh
right.
man.
So your first guy is going to be The Rock.
Oh, he's starting with Dwayne. He's
We're starting
starting
with
with a with
Dwayne.
a with a Rushmore, man. Goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
yeah, we going
Okay.
big, and to me, every name I name is going to be a little Rushmore-ish. You
Ooh.
know,
Okay.
so let's talk a little The Rock or the Mankind.
Oh my God, dude. Mankind is honestly one of my favorite Mick Foley
Mine too,
characters,
man.
dude. Oh my
So's
god.
The Rock, though. I'm a huge Rock fan.
Only Mick Foley, not all three of them, not the
I
whole
I kind of think
smorgasbord.
you have to call them all three.
Cause I'm about to say,
Yeah,
cause if it's
because it's
just
still
Mankind, I'm
Mankind.
gonna have to go with Dwayne. But if we talking all three, that might be a package you can't pass up, man. We got Cactus Jack, Dude
Yeah.
Love. Oh my god, dude. But then we have the most electrifying man in sports and entertainment. Oh,
Do you
right,
smell?
right. Do you
I got to
smell?
do it
Right.
crooked because I can't actually do it. So it's got to lean over to the side.
I hate to do it, but I gotta go with Dwayne. I got
All
to.
right. All right.
God, that was a. Oh my God, that was a
Yeah,
good one,
I
dude.
think that's a sneaky good one too.
No, for real, right out the
Like,
gate.
yeah,
Like, okay,
yeah.
yeah.
But I'm right there with you. I think I'd lean the rock too. So I was wondering how that was going to go. Next up, we're going to bring out another legend, another Mount Rushmore guy for me, and that's going to be the Undertaker.
Oh my God. Good night, Dwayne. Good night, Dwayne. There's just it's the Undertaker. He's the phenom. They don't give
Right.
him these accolades for no reason. He's probably the only person. Well, no, there's probably two only people in wrestling that has more accolades than The Rock, and The Undertaker's definitely one of them. So I have to go with The Undertaker. It'd be disrespectful for me not to. Like,
All right. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. All right, we got the Undertaker there, the last man to
yeah.
try to dethrone and take the king of the hill for the night, the legend. And I feel like I know the answer, but I'm wondering if it's true. And it's another Mount Rushmore, and I think you got to have these guys on there. And that's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, it's. Did y'all hear that glass shatter?
yeah,
Did y'all hear that glass? Stop playing, dude. Steve Austin all day.
yeah,
Stop playing.
yeah. I figured that's the
Probably
way this
it's
was
probably
going.
over. I don't know.
It is over.
You-
This is the way I was leaving. That's why I saved
it's
it for
over.
last. I knew who was gonna
Oh,
win this challenge tonight.
oh
It was
my
kind of a
God.
loaded deck, folks. I
Yeah,
apologize about that.
he got me. He got me because there's no way. Like I said, I heard the glass shatter. I had to look around, make sure wasn't nobody getting in here. Thought I heard a beer can open. Yeah. Mm-mm. Steve Austin all day. Probably
Yeah.
actually the most electrifying man in sports entertainment history. Real talk, dude. The only other guy, like I said, with more accolades than The Rock. Like
I was
it's
afraid you were gonna. I was afraid you were gonna mention him when you started
oh
saying
no
that.
no 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 no. Mm-mm. I wouldn't do that. I never throw a choice out there because at first I honestly thought you was gonna say Shawn Michaels, and I was about to
Mm,
be yeah. I was about to say, oh man, yeah,
it
you
was a
was gonna
good
tear me
choice.
in half with that one. Yeah, I was about to say, boy, but yeah, no, Steve Austin all day, and that glass shatter, it's over. Good night.
Yeah, yeah. So that was King of the Hill. I kind of want to get into a little trash talk before we get out of here. We need to talk a little poo on someone this week, and I've got a guy in my head that I've already kind of predetermined.
He said that you predetermined. I'll go ahead and let you start, my man.
Yeah.
Who's on the block this week?
Well, this week it's come to my attention that people think Tua is just as good as Patrick Mahomes or
Oh my God.
Josh Allen, Herbert, any of these elite, Lamar Jackson, any of these elite quarterbacks. Um, I didn't realize people were getting this excited about Tua's actions, and he's had an amazing 3 game stretch and whatnot. But after it came to my attention that people were riding Tua, who I'm also a fan of, let's not get this mistaken. Everybody knows I've been riding, I'm getting people on the bandwagon for the Dolphins. I have them number 2. It's the bold predictions team this week. But listen to me, folks.
Hmm.
Tua is a product of what's around him, his environment. This is some make believe quarterback stuff. The question that I asked Tua fans were you ready to pay him 55, $60 million a year for
Exactly.
the next 5 years? Are you going to lock him up for a 10-year deal like we did Patrick Mahomes? You're telling me he's better than Patrick Mahomes, sign him for 10. Save yourself some money in the long run to lock him up now. You didn't want to do that. You know why these Tua fans didn't want to do that?
Because they
Because
know.
he's not that guy. Listen to me. He's number 1 in QBR. They started pointing to all these facts and stuff. He is not an elite quarterback. He's fringe top 10. Look, I will give him, and even 10. I've seen lists this
Oh
week
my
that
God.
didn't have him in 10, didn't
I
have him
knew
top
it.
15. Look, Tua has done great. He has great talent around him. You give someone Tyreek Hill and Waddle, a nice run game, a solid defense, and good coaching, you're
Right.
going to win some games. We've seen Chad Henney win some games,
You took
but
the
we've
words.
also seen Pat Mahomes do this with nobody around him.
Nobody.
Look at his record against quarterbacks with winning records. And
I know
Pat
that's right,
Mahomes is
Teach.
that guy. He's the only one that stands out. So, him and Lamar Jackson. So,
Right.
I just wanted to talk a little poop on Tua for a minute and tell people we need
You
to
gotta
pump the
let them
brakes.
know. Gotta let them
Yeah,
know.
it didn't make sense to me. It was bothering me.
No, dude. I was for my trash talk. I actually been sitting stewing on this all day. I couldn't. I was trying to narrow it down to a player, but I almost want to go at a whole fan base. And so, because this is bold predictions, and I am a bold man, my dumpster fire, trash talk, trash situation this week is the whole entire, if there's even any, honestly, I don't know how many of them are there that's really even out there. Los Angeles Chargers fans, the few that I see on
Mm,
Twitter or the few that I see comments on stuff on Bleacher Report talking about, oh, it's over for the Chiefs. We getting Mike Williams back. We getting Keenan Allen back. We getting na 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 na. He's make it sound like he's Master P. Na 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 na. That's
mhm,
all I'm hearing. Cause no, it don't matter if they're back. It don't matter if Justin Herbert's feeling better. It doesn't matter. You're trash. The defense is trash. It was overrated. Another August champion fizzing their way out before the third half of the season. Your quarterback is still playing dinged up. It don't matter if you don't think he's that hurt. He's playing like it. They say he's looking a little better, but not good enough to beat us. Uh, you always talk about Mike
yeah,
Willem, Keenan Allen. What are they going to do? Come back just to get hurt again? Like, what are we
right.
talking about? Like, they acting
Well,
like they
actually,
haven't been
hey,
watching.
that dude with the beard, I'm not sure if you know this. This was
Mm,
in the compliment section. This was the talk poop section. Okay,
mm.
so quit hyping up these Chargers so high. They're worse than what you're even saying. Okay.
No, there ain't no hype going. Like I said, dude, y'all was the champions in August. I thought y'all won the Super Bowl already.
Yeah,
It was over. Y'all was the best, your best team on paper. Everybody loved you. Marcus Spears died by you. He swore Justin Herbert was Christ. He's the sweet baby lamb coming to take LA to the Super Bowl, and that's just not the case. Because I guarantee you, Sunday night you'll see more red in the stands than you will blue. You want to know
right.
why? Do you want to know why, Chargers fans? Do you want to know why? Because it's people like y'all. All y'all do is talk on the internet, and you don't even show up to the game because y'all know y'all trash. And that's all I got to say. That's it.
Mm,
It's just what it is.
and that
Sue me,
might be the nicest thing someone's ever called the Chargers. The Chargers.
man. Man, because if this wasn't a semi-family show, I got choice words for you, but I'm gonna
Mhm.
stop at trash juice, hot dog water smelling dumpster fire.
Right.
That's it.
And we had another comment by Teacher Talking Sports,
Mm-hmm.
kind of agreeing with the Miami take because, even if you can't throw it 60, 70 yards down the field, you can throw it
Man,
to
you can
Hill and
throw
you're going to dig something. So,
Bro, I'm saying you can throw it to a guy who can run 30 miles an hour. Yeah.
yeah,
Give him the ball and let him run. Well, what he
right,
say on radio? He said, I don't want to see nothing but the back of your jersey. When you got a player like that, give him the ball and let him go.
right.
Easy. I'm with you, man. Tua, yeah, I hope they dial that back some because uh, I'll make an argument for Tua in this Josh Allen conversation. I'll make an argument on that one for Tua because
Ooh, over
he's
Josh
looking
Allen?
better. He's looking better.
No, no,
Even Geno's looking better.
no. Easy pass for me.
Shh,
Still
shh,
taking Josh Allen.
shh. And where he gonna take you?
Third place behind the Miami Dolphins right now. That's where it's going to take me.
That's what I'm
Uh,
saying. Oh man, we'll see again. Like I said, their next head to head is gonna determine it for me. It's gonna be it.
yeah, I'm already the
I
Dolphins.
I'm almost to the point where I'm pretty sure the Bills are out of the playoffs, dude. They got 3 L's, and you still have
Uh,
3 more division games to play.
I think they still make a wild card though. I think they still got to sneak in. I
If
don't
you
know. It's
lose, if you
interesting.
lose to, I'm thinking they're gonna lose to the Jets. They're gonna lose to Miami again, and New England's gonna get them once. I just think New England's resurgent, dude.
I think we'll really kind of know in the next 2 3 weeks. We'll
Oh
really kind
yeah,
of see.
oh yeah. Because like I said, they already the NFL moved the game to already try to help you, Buffalo. I mean, they're doing everything they can to keep y'all in the hunt. Like I said, I mean, because they got to have him there, because then they can't talk about Patrick no more without nobody to rival him. There's no conversation to be had if they don't try to keep him up there. Like I said, so we'll
Right.
see what y'all do this weekend, Buffalo. I'm just, as you can tell, I'm not a believer. I heard y'all got good chicken wings. So I'll stand behind that
they
because I've been hearing it for 20 plus years. But
are
I ain't
good.
never
I've been to Buffalo. The wings
see.
there are good. They
He's
are
yeah,
good.
yeah. See,
I'll give them that.
yes, I can't stand on nothing else for y'all because I ain't seen Josh Allen nor heard about him being good the last 20 years like I heard about your chicken wings. I ain't seen Josh Allen be good and be wonderful, be the god of all of quarterbackdom in the AFC, but that's what y'all saying. Like I said, I'm just not seeing it. If anybody should be anointed, it should be Patrick Mahomes. But
Yeah,
we're
well,
not
to
gonna
me,
keep
it's
talking
just
about that.
Patrick Mahomes, and then who's next?
Everybody else,
Yeah,
and the only and like I told you that one time, the only person who I think is in that everybody else that's even close to him is Lamar. He's the only one who's an MVP. Won it
right.
unanimously, meaning it wasn't even close. Not even for you, Pat, baby boy. You see
He's
what I'm
having
saying?
another good year this year.
Another
Should have paid
sneaky
him.
MVP esque season.
Yeah,
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We're in agreement. I tired
right.
myself from these folk and Josh Allen and the Bills. Oh my God. They're just like the Bengals to me. You gotta be kidding me. You just anyway. Mr. KC, I wash my hands of this because I'll be talking about it for the next 4 hours if I could. So we'll
Right.
nip that in the
Yeah, I
bud.
hear you there. Me too. Me too. I think, folks, I think we're gonna kind of wrap it up. This is running a little long for our Saturday shows.
Oh
We had
yeah,
a great
we is.
time talking a little AEW, little NBA action, little NFL
Well,
sprinkled
yeah.
in.
Right.
You know, nice.
Right. Right off the elbow at the end. Gotta do it.
Yeah. And just to make a little World Cup conversation, we might actually do that next Saturday. Talk a little World Cup. So if you want to
We can do that.
learn a little soccer, we'll probably have a soccer guest on next week.
Yes,
So
sir.
we'll pick up a little uh, exciting action there. And we appreciate you, everyone that's tuned in. That dude with the beard, can you give us some final thoughts?
Oh man, folk. Teach. I appreciate you stopping by. All your good comments, man. Like I said, that Owen Hart one, my favorite dude. Like I said, I mess with
Yeah,
Owen Hart, the whole Hart family. Shout out to y'all. Even that reminds me of the Hitman. He messes with a few people in AEW too. He's a behind the scenes kind of guy there. But as always, people, I thank y'all for coming and to even watch and to spend any bit of your Saturday with us. Like I said, especially this being of all days of the week, you choose to stop by and you choose to tune in, and I'm just most grateful. Y'all know me; I could sit here for the next 10 minutes and tell you how humbling this is for a brother like me and Mr. KC. Because, like I said, we've only talked about this, and then now that we're on here talking about this, y'all are listening and liking us talking about it. Y'all keep us going. Y'all the ones who are motivating us to put 10 toes down behind what we're doing. And we're going to keep rocking for y'all. And y'all keep rocking with us because we love y'all dearly. Um, Mr. KC, that's pretty much all I got. My love for the people as tradition. We going to see y'all soon here. Maybe some live reactions for the wrestling tonight you'll see from me. Other than that, prime time tomorrow, Chiefs. Let's do it.
yes, sir. Good night, folks.